Hello, I'm Maxine Faulder. I just can't believe that I'm actually here delivering the message that I'm about to deliver. On the last time I was here doing a podcast with my husband, Clifford Faulder, we did a podcast to launch our book that Cliff wrote, and I did a lot of the production of it, called And That's What I Like About You. We were here doing the podcast, and at the time we knew that he had a cancer diagnosis. We knew it was prostate cancer, and we knew that it was aggressive. A day before his 48th birthday, he had a procedure, and as far as we knew, the procedure went well. Clearly all wasn't well, because sadly on the 3rd of January, Cliff passed away. Cliff was my husband of, would have been 26 years this year. We were together 32 years. So I cannot tell you how devastated I am. I now do not know what my life will be like. Cliff was so desperate to launch this book, so I definitely owe it to Cliff to launch this book. I owe it to AboutFace, the training company, and AboutFace Publishing. And That's What I Like About You is a wonderful story, a narrative and a celebration of difference, and celebrating all the different ways that we are different, from skin color, hair texture, the way where we live, our faith, celebrating differences, but also just coming together, liking each other, loving each other. This book is just such a wonderful celebration of how we should live. So we're here to promote it and launch it. It is already on Amazon. The book it's £10 per copy, and I very much hope that you will love it as much as Cliff loved it, and love it as much as I do. It's a wonderful book, and I hope you enjoy. Please enjoy the video. It is a difficult watch, bearing in mind that Cliff is no longer here, but he definitely lives on in our hearts, and his legacy will always live, because we love him so much. Thank you for listening.
Hello, my name is Jerome Faulder, one of Cliff's children. One of Cliff's 4 children. I'm speaking for myself and my 3 brothers, and without my dad, we wouldn't be where we are today. My dad was a person that took on the responsibility of being that responsible adult, someone to look up to. So it's very touching to say the most that our dad has left the physical world, but definitely lives on, just as my mum said, definitely lives on. And I can feel his presence within the room, definitely lives on with all of our hearts, not just those in the family, but for everybody. So today I'm here to be a part of the book launch. That's What I Like About You. It's a book catered towards a younger audience, but the messages within the book can be used for everyday life with everybody. It's a book that shows that difference is fine. Being different is absolutely normal and is okay, and it is acceptable. Being different makes people good. Me being black and someone else being white is something positive, because there's difference in the world, and that's what the book tries to show. It tries to show that people don't have to be the normal, and that's not what we should aspire to be. Difference is what we need, and we have to embrace difference. Race is just one of those things, and it's been way too long where race should still be an issue. The book can be used in schools, the book can be used at home, the book can be used in places of work, and create the same message. The message of love, the message of peace, the message of unity, the message of strength, the message of courage, not just my dad's message, not being racist, but being anti-racist. Being anti-racist means to be proactive in eliminating racism, and that's very much what Africa's New Coat touches on. That's what I like about you. It's a very simple, very easy to understand book, and again, it can be taught in schools, it can be taught in care homes, it can be taught at home and many other places. But the messages in the book show that being different is positive. We don't all have to be the same to like each other, to love each other and to care for each other. We can be different. There can be differences in people all across the world, and it's positive. It's not just a difference to separate us, it's a difference to bring us together. The world wouldn't function if we were all the same, because we need different ideas in the world. And those different ideas and different personalities and characteristics is what can make our world better. I would like to welcome you all to watch the podcast that was done by my father, my mother, and Martin. The podcast is very welcoming, it's very inviting, and it sets a tone of what to expect in the book. The book of That's What I Like About You. In the podcast, you will learn a bit about my dad, learn a bit about my mum, learn a bit about AboutFace in general, and also learn a bit about the book that you can purchase and teach many lessons from. In the podcast, there's conversation, there's introduction, there's messages, there's meanings that very much highlight my dad and his legacy and the work that he tried to inflict on the world.
Hello there, it's Faulder from AboutFace, and today I'm here to talk about a very exciting project that has become our reality now, and introduce AboutFace's very newest book, which is called And That's What I Like About You. To help me to discuss the book that is, I've enlisted the help of some very illustrious guests of mine. To my left I have Maxine Faulder and also the book's illustrator Martin White. So first and foremost, if I go to Maxine, introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Maxine. I am I've created put the book together and product managed the book, and I'm really proud of what we've been able to achieve, all three of us, what we've been able to achieve. My background is support work. I'm a professional social worker. However, my most important job is being a parent.
Oh.
My most important job is being a parent to my four boys, to be a homemaker, to be a wife, and that's what I hold dear to, and that's my most important thing. That's my most important role.
Fantastic, thank you very much, Maxine. So you're chief and editor, but actually that's moonlighting from the most important job, being a parent. Yeah, got it. I agree, by the way. Yeah, good job.
Of course, I'm glad. I do agree.
And Martin, can you tell us a little bit about yourself, please?
I am a northern artist, working class, and I've been painting for about 7 years, and I love the concept of the book, and I just enjoy getting really immersed in any project, especially if it comes from a source of genuine authenticity and heart and passion. So yeah, I'm just your average artist who has a great passion for painting, drawing, and new experiences, and making the right connections with the right people. And I'm glad to be here.
Awesome, and we are very glad to have you.
Thank you.
So let me introduce the concept of the book, exactly what it is that led us to be here today. So, initially, as the CEO of AboutFace Training, our company has been set up in order to really reach out to the world and create a synergy amongst all those who are involved in the work that we do that allows us to have a completely anti-racism mantra. It's about really embracing people to help create a worldwide narrative that brings people together. I often like to say that we kind of tip all our valences up on the table and we sift through it with those that kind of support us, those that we reach out to. And then it's our job, once we've tipped those things up on the table, to get on the same side of the table and kind of say, okay, how can we kind of improve the world for us all? And in writing this book in particular, I felt that it was really important to start that work early with children.
Yeah.
So our first book, Africa's New Coat, spoke to a slightly older demographic, and although, I mean, that was discussed in everywhere from universities to secondary schools to nurseries, I felt that actually maybe we could get in a little bit earlier and really reach out in a very artistic way. How did you find it particularly, Maxine, in working on That's What I Like About You? From that standpoint, how did you feel that project coming together?
I think for me, on reading the book, obviously you wrote it as the author, but on reading the book, for me, it was a very powerful message of difference, of appreciating difference, of it really noticing difference, but actually it doesn't really care because, or you know, the character or the narrator or the person behind or telling the story doesn't really care because, you know, that's what they like about them.
Mm-hmm.
And it's recognized. I think sometimes in the racism story, there's that phrase, oh, I don't see colour. I'm not racist because I don't see colour.
Yeah.
I think that in itself is a real kind of ignorance.
Yeah.
Because I want somebody to see my colour. I want somebody to see that I'm a black woman and appreciate me for all of my achievements, given that I'm a black woman.
Yeah.
And I don't have to change. I don't have to be like, you know, my white counterparts. I am unique because I am me.
Yeah.
And that's what really spoke to me and jumped out to me, and that's the kind of message that I would like in the creating of this book, to kind of for the reader to really appreciate that we are all different. We all think differently, we all communicate differently, we look differently, we live in different places. However, the commonality is actually just love and friendship. We can just get together and we can care each other, we can love each other, but appreciate difference, that we don't all have to be the same. And that, if the reader of this book gets that message, for me, that would be the ultimate success.
I like that. I like that because actually that real kind of hearkening to our difference is actually what brings us together, not what divides us. I kind of understand that actually this celebration of what is unique about us as individuals, us as a species, us in our situations, us in our current climate. The world currently, I mean, it's well documented on the news, you know, in local news, in social media, how divisive the world can be at times. That, you know, hopefully this book will offer something, somewhat of, act as a gluing agent, a binding agent that really brings people together. In order to kind of allow that to happen, I also felt it was really important to bring a visual concept to this book that in itself was very individual, something very different to anything you would have normally seen on you know, in newsstands, in books, in literary sense, something unique in its visual context. And I'd like to really come to you at this point, Martin, because your style and your artwork as a serious artist, we're not talking about someone who would normally have illustrated books. This is your passion, your vocation in life. This is art at its absolute apex, cutting edge stuff. And we'll talk a little bit about how we got together in a second, but tell me from your thoughts in reading the book, how did that get your creative juices flowing to the point where you illustrated it so beautifully?
So, thank you very much. Firstly, I mean, I read the book and it made complete sense. But then talking to you more made more sense of the book, because I got more of a background on why you wanted it to come out, why you wanted people to read it, especially the younger generation. But I mean, it took a few goes of reading the book, and it took a few goes of drawing things and scrapping them and starting again. But the more I got into it, the more I really started to feel how you guys felt about the book, especially when it comes to, you know, the differences that we have, and how that needs to be, that's a wall that needs to be broken down. I mean, like, and it starts from a young age, and it is very, very, very important. It's an important message, and it's a message that needs to be told. So I felt like I had a duty to do the best I could to A, bring your vision to life, and B, help put across this really, really important message. So it was very immersive and quite emotional to do.
If the words of this book could be described as giving someone real positive self-regard, then the art that accompanies it would be its physical hug, following that real meeting of mind and emotion. In essence, what you have here is the embodiment, a physical representation of love. This is surely how this should go for us all. So maybe the main takeaway from this is that through acceptance, expression, art, and work, hard work, we can all become much, much closer. And through love, maybe, just maybe, we're able to heal the world.